for the Quran programs of Dar-us-Salaam. What you saw in the school, in our full-time Hifz school, in the Weekend Quran Institute, which has branches here in Rockville, in Baltimore, and many more requests for branches. Brothers and sisters, tonight I wanted to talk to you about two concepts, two phenomena, if you will. The first idea is what Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran, and especially in Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in His Sunnah, they talk about this idea that Allah Azza wa Jal provides for us, provides for people from places they cannot imagine. They cannot imagine. So Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran says, mentioning the benefits of taqwa, which is, as you know, that's one of the main goals of Ramadan, is for us to attain taqwa, being conscientious of our duty to Allah Azza wa Jal, doing what Allah has asked us to do and staying away from what Allah has asked us to stay away from. So He says, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever has this conscientiousness of Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah will find a way out for him. And then He says, وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. And Allah provides for that person from the places that he cannot imagine. Now, how does that happen? It happens in ways that we sometimes don't even think about. It could be that, we were conscientious of duty to Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah Azza wa Jal grants us with, for example, a bonus at our workplace. Or He gives us a very specific talent that not many people have, and now we're able to put that talent to work. Or, for example, we were not expecting a certain amount of money from coming, from somewhere, and Allah just makes it come in our lap out of nowhere. How it happens, that's not our business. That's Allah's business. And Allah takes care of that. Your job and my job is to have that belief in Allah that it will happen. Yeah? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he tells us in a hadith, similar concept. He says, whoever continuously and consistently does istighfar, asks Allah for forgiveness. Whoever asks Allah for forgiveness all the time, He says, جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لَهُ مِنْ كُلِّ هَمٍّ فَرَجًا. Allah will make any grieving or sorrowful situation for them, He'll find a way out for them. وَمِنْ كُلِّ ضِيقٍ مَخْرَجًا. And every tight and constricted position that they may be in, Allah will find a way out for them. And number 3, Allah will provide him from places he cannot imagine. Now, brothers and sisters, again, if you think about it from a purely worldly perspective, just from the worldly perspective, one may wonder, well, how does that happen? What is istighfar, asking Allah for forgiveness? What does that have to do with, finding a way out from difficult situations, taking care of our sorrows and griefs, and increasing our risk, and Allah giving us from places we cannot imagine? What is the correlation? The correlation, how exactly that happens, again, that's not your business, that's not my business. That's Allah's business. Our job is to have that certainty that it will happen. And that's why we should ask Allah for forgiveness all the time, sincerely feeling bad for our bad deeds and asking Allah for forgiveness. Now, I want to share a story with you which portrays this exact same situation. This is a true story narrated in the authentic Sunnah of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam shared with us a story. He says that there was a man who was in the desert. And he kind of was lost in the desert, and he was very thirsty. So as he's in the desert, he hears a sound coming out of a cloud, and the sound that came out of the cloud was "Isqi hadiqata fulan." Water the garden of such and such person. In the middle of the desert, he hears this, and so the man, he followed that cloud until he got in the middle of the desert. He got to a place where there wasn't a garden. In the middle of the desert, and the man saw that the cloud went on that garden, it poured, it rained, and it stopped. SubhanAllah. So the Rasul says that the man into the garden, and he saw that the owner of the garden was doing his work, whatever he had to do was plowing and so on and so forth. So he went to the owner of the garden and he says, "What's your name?" And the owner of the garden was like, "Why are you asking me my name?" But he told them the name, and guess what the name was? The same name that was mentioned in the cloud. So the man said, to the owner, he said, "Tell me your secret." He said, "What do you mean my secret?" He said, "Look, I just heard this sound coming out of a cloud to come and water your garden, and then I saw your garden got watered. Your garden received all this rain from the cloud." Now again, this is a true story narrated in an authentic hadith of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Do you see the providing from places you can't imagine? Right in the middle of a desert, where it doesn't rain very often, here comes a cloud very specially for that person and waters a person's garden. So the man asked him, "Tell me your secret, what do you do?" So he said, "Look, here's the secret that he told." He said, all the vegetation, the fruits and vegetables that I get from my garden, I always divide them into 3 parts. 3 parts. One part, my family and I eat from. One part, I reinvest back into the garden. Yeah, I reinvest, reseed back into the garden. And the third part, the 1/3, I give it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I give it a sadaqah. This was his secret. Now, brothers and sisters, in today's day and age, some of us, we go and see financial advisors. We will have our personal financial planners that we will go and see, and they will tell us that, look, if you are this age, you should invest this much in this type of stocks and bonds, or, in mutual funds, and you should do A, B, and C. This is how your savings should be, and so on and so forth. But you see, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, through this hadith, told us that financial plan, that personal financial plan, provided that we can have the certainty that it will come true. So, brothers and sisters, tonight we're asking you for your support, but I want my first appeal to you is a bit non-traditional. I'm not going to ask for you for numbers, but I want as many of us as possible right now, before I ask for actual numbers, is to make an intention and say, my next paycheck, whatever that is, if you get a weekly paycheck, then so be it. If you get bi-weekly paycheck, that's fine. If you get a monthly paycheck, that's fine. If you're a business owner and you have your monthly statement where you see how much you take home, that's fine. Whatever that amount is, I want you to make a commitment right now that at least my next paycheck, I will donate 1/3 of it. How many people here can say, I will do 1/3 of my paycheck? Just raise your hand. Is there somebody who will say, I'll just buy 1/3 of my next paycheck, whatever that is? Allahu Akbar, that's 1, 2. Can we get a few more people without numbers? Just make that commitment, whatever that is. If your next, whatever that amount is, I will just give 4 to try to get the barakah from this hadith. Is there somebody else? Number 3, number 4, can we get one more person? So you feel this barakah that inshallah you anticipate that Allah will provide to you from places you can't imagine. Where's number 5? Just one more person. Allahu Akbar, that's number 5. Okay. Now, that's the first.